to Mother Africa. This is the ocean. Many slaves had to cross the ocean filled with clouds. They welcome you with open arms into Africa, another country. Appalachian Mountains. I can see it clearly.
Ramesses II, he put himself here instead of the god Nefertong to claim that he was a god. So some kings in ancient Egypt were considered as gods after their deaths. But Ramesses II considered himself as a god in his life. So Ramesses II was totally different. A lot of historians believe that Ramesses II was the pharaoh of Moses because when they found the mummy, they found remains of salt water. But after a lot of examination, they found this was not salt water, it was just remains from the oils they used during the mummification process. So we don't know if it's the pharaoh of Moses or not. But there's a new theory say that there was not only one pharaoh for Moses, it was two. The one who raised him in his palace, and it was Ramesses II, and the one who chased him through the Red Sea, and it was his son, Miriam Betel. But it's not also a confirmed story, because, as I told you, the ancient Egyptian didn't tell us about two things, their secret and their bad times. So, and for them, of course, it was a bad time when the king or the pharaoh died when he was chasing the enemy. For them, Moses was the enemy, of course. And will not be humans after, in the afterlife. They're going to join the gods. So they don't need any of this. But the noble people in the real life would be noble people also in the afterlife. So they're going to take everything they had with them to the afterlife. In ancient Egyptian language,
Pyramid of Giza. What we call densely populated. Most of the Egyptians live around the Nile. These are middle class apartments. The highway is very much like America. Influence. It's like a tentacle. It stretches arms far and wide. Belly of the beast. New York has nothing on this. Reside there, and sometimes they leave those top floors unfinished for their relatives, and sometimes they built without permission. Our planning department. Could you imagine this happening in Bermuda? All these people don't build without permission. There's $1 million hands knocked right now. So about 10 years ago, according to our tour guide, all this was covered with grass and the highway was here. So in 10 years, this was built. Covered with grass 10 years ago. The highway still here. Amazing.
Government did, not the people did.
Now this is uptown.
Yeah, now we are crossing the Nile, so we're leaving Giza behind, and now we are in Cairo.
Cairo.
Yeah.
It's uptown. Babies don't cry. Uptown babies don't cry. You know what suffering's like. Beautiful. Look at this. Beautiful. Look at the Nile. You can see the Nile. Beautiful. Nile. I can see I've been above the Nile. So it's a famous hill.
Yes, it's called Al-Muqattam.
Called what?
Al-Muqattam.
Called Al-Muqattam. I made a Al-Muqattam with M on it.
Yeah.
Most famous hill. Why is it famous?
It's very famous because it's the only hill in the city itself.
Okay.
Inside the city.
Okay. Yeah, it's natural, yeah.
Like every year.
Every year for
Yeah.
a census?
Yeah. Census, like you mean counting or?
Yeah, counting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have like in the like a screen they counting like with any child born, you know, you will find like they added one to the screen. Yeah. Sometimes in a traffic light we can have like 25 children just born in just like in a few seconds. Yeah.
And early you do it every 10 years. It was instantaneous.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pass one, let me know.
It's maybe when we come back because it's
Aswan. Aswan Airport. Another part of Egypt. Let's see what Aswan has in store for us. Over there, some sort. Focus here. Is it? Ahmed, is it the Nile?
No, this is a lake. Now
Lake.
we're crossing a dam. The old dam of Aswan.
So what's the lake called? Name of the lake? Do you know?
It's called the Lake of Aswan, Aswan Lake. Here in Aswan there is 2 dams and 2 lakes. All one by the Khedive Abbas Helmi. Khedive means king. Abbas Helmi, and we call it the English Dam because it was built during the English or the British occupation in Egypt here, and it was built to control the irrigation and to control the flood. But in 1954 there was a huge flood could overcome the dam and killed a lot of people, destroyed a lot of villages. So it was necessary to build the high dam, which we will see tomorrow.
Nile,
For
guys.
like 25 minutes in the Nile, and then we will have a motorboat taking us to the Nubian village. And Mahmoud here, my colleague, going to take our suitcases to the boat. So we're not going to see the bus until tomorrow, so take your carry-on or bags with you, because we're not going to see the bus till tomorrow. And of course, don't forget the card. They give it to you, the RC, because we're going to use it for checking in inside the boat.
This is the Nile, guys. The Nile. The Nile River. Nile. All right, guys, it's the Nile. No, not sleeping on this one. No, thank God. You said. Thank God. So we're on our way to the Nubian village. One or two villages that keep crocodiles, or that allow tourists to come to their homes. So the home that we're going to is going to be crocodiles, and so we're on our way to the Nubian village. All this rock you see around us is granite. The background is granite rock. Right there. On our way. This is our tour guide right here, Ahmed. It's Ahmed. What's up, Ahmed?
Great, how are you?
Everything's good. Still in the Nile. Are those temples? Houses? Houses? And sometimes people sandboard on these in the dunes. Did you believe that? Sandboarding. Still on the way to the Nubian village. What they're seeing now is a guest house being built, and beyond this rock coming up to be the Nubian village. Nubian village. They got cell tower, right? They got cell phones. Samsung probably one of the things around here. Man, we used to race bikes, racing camels, camel races. So over here is a football field. First football field I've seen in Egypt. That's not for local grassroots football. First football field I've seen. So the vast majority of granite is found here in Oslo. So we are in Oslo. Yeah, they don't chisel from here anymore because it's a heritage site or an antiquity site. Yeah, they got dogs all over the place. Have you have chickens in Bermuda? They have dogs wandering all over the place. It's madness. No, I don't really get excited about staying. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna stop this right now. Hopefully we find something a little bit more exciting to share with you. Yeah guys, once again, this is granite stone. Pure granite. Nothing but granite. Your contours. Thinking about bringing on the truck here and take a piece home. But actually, people have actually tried to steal some of this granite. This is now a heritage site, so granite is no longer stone from this area, from this quarry. So the ancient Egyptians just come in, stone some obelisk, with their obelisk, or some of their obelisk. So guys, we're going on the cruise now. This is the cruise that some of us only take it once in a lifetime. The only cruise we will get. It's not a Nordic cruise. It's not a Caribbean cruise. It's a Nile cruise. Back again. This is the Nasser Lake. It's the largest man-made lake in the world. It extends into Sudan. Its depth is over 100 meters. And in this lake you have crocodiles. The crocodiles can range up to 6 meters in length. And I think they eat over 20 tons of fish a day. I'm not sure that's one crocodile or all the crocodiles. The temple that I'm going to zoom in now, the temple was reconstructed because it was found underwater. So when this area was made into a man-made lake, a lot of Nubian people had to move, and a lot of temples had to be moved. And this is one example of the temple being moved or reconstructed above ground. Now, this area, this dam that I'm standing on, it is protected by the army. The reason it is protected by the army because if this dam was ever flooded, or well, not flooded, but if the dam was ever destroyed, the flooding would take place. And because this is Upper Egypt, and Upper Egypt goes down to the sea, it will flood most of Upper Egypt. This lake, this man-made lake that was made by the British. So now I'm going to step to the other side, and on the other side I'm going to show you where the sea level is actually lower than the man-made lake. The man-made lake, as I said, is 100 meters in depth, but the sea level over here, which I do believe is part of the Nile, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure, that's part of the Nile, this is only 16 meters in depth. So come over here now and see these dogs. These dogs, like I said, like feral chickens back home in Bermuda. So, yep. So this area is 16 meters in depth. Now I'm going to zoom in, and you can see the homes are there. So a lot of Nubian people had to be moved when that man-made lake was made, and they were moved to other areas along with their temples and everything else that belonged to the Nubian people. Oh, this dam was financed by by Russia, USSR, and it was given they being the Egyptians were given $100 million in US dollars to build this dam. So this is the dam. the dam. So this has the hydro plants. So this powers 10%, this dam powers 10% of Egypt. Temple of Isis. That's right there. Temple of Isis, right here. It's the only temple of Isis or the one of the temples of Isis? It's the only temple of Isis?
No, one of the temples.
So it's one of the temples of Isis, made out of limestone. The reason limestone, not granite, because limestone is easy to manipulate and to carve into. What I'm pointing at right now, or aiming the camera at, is the original location of this Isis temple. There's a metal bars, and that bars standing right there in the water. That's the original location of the Isis temple. They moved the Isis temple brick by brick. They numbered the bricks, they moved it from here, and they put it over. The last thing is that when you see the kings and people drawn with long arms, it indicates that this was the time of Greek rule. And I didn't know this, maybe you knew this, but Cleopatra was a Greek. I didn't know that. Her father was Greek, Ptolemy, and her mother was Greek, Cleopatra VI.
That's not the Holy of Holies. Sa Isa, Horus, son of Isis. That's why he's standing next to his mother. And Horus was the white crown here. It's called Herwer, Horus the Great. So they told you there is different forms of Horus, not only one form of Horus. And the ibis bird, the headed god here, is the god Tut, or Tahut, is the god of wisdom and writing in ancient Egypt. Let's move.
So guys, I came back in my room and the hostman made sure to let me know that he had a surprise for me. And this is the surprise he... Now, looking towards the dock, where the waters are at two different levels on either side of that bridge. Look how high that boat is to us right now. That's behind us. Beyond the gate, beyond the lock. Oh, the watermark. The water level is dropping. Let's see how far it drops. So far, looks like to be over easy, 8-9 feet. Is it dropping fast? Made out of sandstone, which is up there, and under the sandstone you have the limestone. And remnants of a tomb they are still excavating right there, and there's stones, rocks are being numbered, not being numbered, are numbered. Just in case they find more, and then the end goal is to put it back together to make a temple. So it's all the stones and rocks they found on the excavation site right here as well. So, and you see that
Okay.
metal.
We are all here. Okay, girls, walk up.
Excavation site right there.
1200 BC.
Would you repeat that again, please?
So here it was a worker city, the city of the workers, and they were working here for digging the tombs for the noble people and even in the Valley of the Kings. And also during the time of the king Ramesses III, there was a huge strike here because they didn't pay their salary. So they made a strike against the king Ramesses III, and that was one of the reasons why after the king Ramesses III passed away, we didn't have any stable time after that, because he ruled for a long time and he also had a lot of wars, so he didn't have enough money to pay for them. So this was the beginning of the falling time of ancient Egypt, starting from here.
What would they pay him with? What would they pay him in? What's the currency they paid him with?
They didn't have currency. They were paying them like wheat, barley, wine, beer. So what they need to eat, what they need to live. Sometimes fabrics, clothes, but they didn't have currency. You can find the king Ramesses III just holding a bunch of enemies to punish them. Those enemies are just different nations. You can find the Libyan, the Syrian, the Asiatic right in front of the god Amun-Ra, and the god Amun-Ra at the same time gave him the sword of victory, like he's helping him to defeat the enemy. And you can notice that it's always the god, it's a little bit higher than the king. And the oval thing down there, that's the names of the enemies of the king he defeated already, like the tribes and the city and the villages he could defeat in his battles. And you can imagine how many cities he just destroyed and how many countries he could defeat in his battle. And Ramesses III, as I said before, in my opinion, he's the last great king in ancient Egypt, and he is one of the warrior kings. In ancient Egypt, we have some of the kings were warriors. They were real warriors. They were fighting by themselves. They were not just like commanders of the army, but they were fighters themselves. Ramesses III is one of them. By the way, Ramesses III is not the son of Ramesses II. It's even different dynasty, different family, because Ramesses II was so great. So a lot of kings wanted to get his name. So from Ramesses III till Ramesses XI, they were from the same family, but they're not from the same family of Ramesses II. So Ramesses III is a 20 dynasty. Ramesses II was the 19th dynasty.
Right here, they were built on top of a temple, or temples, or graves, and in the graves it was precious metals, whatever was found. And so the government found out that these people were taking the metals and selling them. So the government ended up buying the house from them, and then and reclaiming the precious metals, whatever they found. Same king, Thutmose III, the covered had Satchut's obelisk. He had the first zoo here. He ruled many countries, and his favorite animal that was kept in a golden cage was a chicken. This is University of Aswan. Aswan University.
So to the right hand side you can see Aswan University. It's a new one. It's recently built
Back in
to
Cairo. Quite densely populated. victory of the first king of Egypt, and it is 5,000 years old. Example of a black king and the diversity that was found in Egypt. In Egypt, according to our tour guide, there is no white, there is no black, there's, well, only one race. There's a mixture of white, black, and all in between. So this is an example of an Egyptian king that was obviously black. You notice the wide lips and the wide nose and the high cheekbones. And he came from an Egyptian royal family. Make sure you can read that. I'll keep it up for a couple of seconds. Then you can screenshot it and read that. Black person, Amenhotep, the son of Habu.
Once again, the king closes the circle. He's given over here, he always become a different job. And under the feet
So these sandals are 3,000, supposedly 3,400 years old. They're made of papyrus, and at the bottom, those are shoe boxes to preserve your sandal. So boils, all those get the start right here in Egypt. Downtown Cairo is there that way. And I just saw the pyramids earlier this way.